Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Obviously today is not going to be a review. What I want to talk about today is, it may be a little bit of venting on my part, is what's up with all of these honest review stuff we see going on in the remote control, mostly the drone community. You probably know what I'm talking about. Obviously all of us who are reviewing need to be as honest as possible. That's a given. But we're seeing more and more of these channels that are like honest reviews, no cheerleading, and it's like, really? I mean, if your content is good, and you're honest from the get-go, you shouldn't have to say those things. And that's what I'm getting at. It's just, we're seeing it all over the drone community, and it's not just the big channels. I've seen it in some small channels too. I know that some people are just trying to say, hey, I'm not a shill, I'm not a liar. And I understand that. But what I look at is, you've got some really big channels out there, and they've gotten so large, and I'm not knocking them those channels. I would love to be that large. It's not a slap against them or anything. But they've become so large that their own dependence, livelihood for themselves and their family is dependent on their YouTube generated revenue, whether it's through YouTube views, through AdSense and the payments for the views, and affiliate sales is probably where some of these channels really make a lot of money. And I feel the channels that are saying, hey, honest reviews, no cheerleading, and these channels are doing this because it's a backlash. They're saying, I'm honest, and the reason they're doing that is because they have been accused of being shills. And anytime a channel gets really big, you're going to have haters. I understand that. But if you have to say, I'm honest and I'm not a shill, when you've reached that level of success, it's because there's probably some truth to it. If you depend on that revenue, you're going to sugarcoat stuff more so than maybe a smaller channel would. And we're seeing that with some of these channels that, you know, if the sales start to hurt or views get down, it's going to affect their income. And all of a sudden they're going to panic. I need this money to survive. It almost becomes like a used car salesman. You see them sugarcoating products because they just want to make that sale. You know, that's the most important thing, more so than even views. Now, I'm not going to name any channels. I don't want to get it stoop to that level and start calling people out, because at the end of the day, I'm a small channel and I'm just going to look like I'm jealous. And that's not the case. I just don't like that I'm seeing it. I've seen it from channels with over 100,000, and I've seen it from channels that are smaller than mine. Again, if you put out good quality content and you are honest, that's the most important thing. If you're honest from the get-go, you don't have to say, I'm an honest reviewer, I'm an honest channel, no cheerleading, I'm not a shill. And we know what channels are more shill channels than others. There's some really good big channels out there, but there's some channels that their stuff is, everything looks great. Any channel that you watch, regardless of the size, any channel, if everything they review is good, even if they may point out some bad things, if everything they review, they say it's still great, and they're just being dishonest. This stuff is mass produced in China. A lot of this stuff has some problems, but may be okay. I may say in my reviews, oh, this product's still pretty good, but there's issues. But there's other times where some of these reviewers, they don't point out anything that's a bad enough problem that you shouldn't buy it. They will still say you need to buy this thing because they want those sales more than anything. And it's not just sales for the income that they make off of it, and obviously the YouTube views that they generate. They get more products to review from these vendors, from China especially, not so much Amazon. They need to see those sales to give you more. And that applies to me too. I'm pretty transparent. If I don't get some sales from some products, I'm not going to get anything else. And that's just the name of the game. But at the end of the day, I feel like I'm going to tell you if it sucks. And if it sucks and I don't get sales, well, I'm just going to have to figure something else out. I can't tell you buy this and take your hard-earned money just so I can get more products to review. And that's what channels in my size, getting more products to review is much more important than anything else, because it costs a lot of money to buy this stuff. Some of the big channels make enough they can justify to spend a ton of money on some things. So that's what we have to be aware of. But these big channels, they want not only to get more products to review for free, but they need those affiliate sales and those YouTube views. So when you see a channel, and what I'm getting at here is when you see a channel that is telling you honest reviews, honest reviews, honest reviews, they're doing that because they're being accused of being dishonest, and there's probably some truth to it. It may not be truth to everything. You're going to have haters, but they're doing this as a backlash to, hey, we're honest. We're honest. Because they're being accused of being dishonest and being shills and trying to sell you everything. And that's why they're putting in their intros and they're putting it all over their channel to try to convince you. And some of them we can see views, comments are down because people are annoyed by this. If you put out quality content, you don't have to, and by quality, I mean honest, of course. If you're being honest from the get-go, you don't have to put that on your channel anywhere. People will know it. I'm going to mention somebody I think's really good. I don't think there's anything wrong with mentioning that. I think Andy RC is excellent. Andy doesn't say anywhere about honest reviews. I'm honest. He always is honest, and he speaks for itself. He doesn't have to say, I'm an honest reviewer. I'm no cheerleading and stuff, because I don't see people accusing him of being a shill. So I want to point that out. I mean, there's nothing wrong with pointing out somebody that's good, but I'm not going to point out, and I don't want to discuss it, who I'm talking about, because I don't want to get into a name game. But there are definitely some channels out there that come to mind, and they're various sizes. They're not all huge. Some of them, I said, are even smaller than myself. So it's something I've been talking to with some people in the drone community and the remote control community. They feel the same way as me. It's becoming a real problem lately because some of these channels have become so large, they've become so dependent on this income that they're doing this to try to protect themselves, to get you to say, no, come look at us. We're honest. And it's just been lately, we've been seeing it a lot on YouTube, and it's just been annoying me enough that I felt I want to put this little video out with my thoughts on it. You can disagree, that's fine. And again, I'm not going to name anybody who is guilty of this. You see it, you probably know. If not, go look. You probably can YouTube search it, and you'll find honest reviews, no cheerleading hashtags and stuff like that. It's just it's too bad, because if these channels were not shilling for stuff, they wouldn't have to do this. And it probably is something that they probably didn't do this when they first started out. As they got big and dependent on the income, that's when they started to become dishonest, and that's why they were being called out. So that's the stuff I've been seeing going on. It's annoying me. I want to get a little video up just here with some audio. That's why I've just got my background here for my web browser for my site. There's nothing to look at here. It's just my personal thoughts on this whole honest review. So my personal opinion, if you care about what I say, and you may not care at all what I think, if you agree, if you take my word and believe what I tell you, I would say avoid those channels. If they're telling you I'm honest review, honest review, honest reviewer, maybe you want to take a second to reconsider watching them, because they are retaliating against accusations which probably have a bit of truth to them. They probably have been lying about products. So if you see a channel doing that a lot, now if they just do it once, I'm sure I've said it, that's fine. If it's all over their channel and it's in their intros and it's in their logos and in their descriptions, I would recommend that you be skeptical of that channel. Let's put it that way. I'm not telling you to stop watching them. Just look for second opinions on a product before you buy it. Don't take their word for it, because they're probably were being dishonest. Maybe they're trying better now not to be, but if they're dependent on those sales, they're going to sugarcoat. And we all do. I'm sure I do. We all will sugarcoat some on things that we were given for free. It's just human instincts. But when you depend on that as to put food on the table for your family, you're just naturally not going to be honest to the extent that we need to be for spending our hard-earned money. All right, guys, so that wraps up this little audio I wanted to discuss. If you like what the content I put out, like I said, I don't put anything about being honest or anything because I feel I am, and I hope you guys appreciate that. Then make sure you do, subscribe, click the bell so you know every time I do upload these videos. I got some stuff coming up here as soon as the weather cooperates that I'll get filmed. And as always, guys, have a wonderful day.
The power of the dark side.